Hey bike farmers, thanks for clicking in. Surprise, a dad bike. Actually, I have no idea if this guy's a dad, but the other day I was hanging out in the shop and in walks a dude with a Peloton shirt, and I didn't even know that I said it out loud, but I was like, uh-oh, here comes a cyclist. I'm like, if you're a cyclist, you're in the wrong store. I said, lucky for you, I'm a runner. I'm not a cyclist, but I am looking for a bike, but I don't want anything fancy. I'm like, stop right there. You're a man of my own heart. I've got you. You want something relaxing. In between your long runs, you just want to go out on the glacial drumlin and pedal easy and feel the wind on your cheeks and experience the wonders of nature. And he's like, that's exactly right. And I was like, well, I've got nothing for you, man. Except, and they started digging through my pile, probably the greatest hybrid ever built. Yeah, no, not probably, it actually is. This is the Trek 7300 multi-track, AKA dad bike. And it's the 7300, not the 72 or the 71 or the 7000, but the 73, and not the 75, but the 73. And it comes with Shimano hubs, 3x8 speed drivetrain, double walled rims. It's got the better cranks, comes with a chain guard that doesn't break off, better brakes, better levers, better everything with the 7300. 7200 is more than adequate for 95% of you, but if you do want to go that little extra, you get the 7300. And that's what this is. I don't think it's got a whole lot of miles. It's been ridden some. This front tire's worn out. I think it was on the rear at one point and they switched them. And it has a Willie Williamson Bicycle Works sticker on it. So, and this is all faded. Maybe it's got a little more than I thought. It's supposed to go super fast because it's a dad bike and I can tune these bikes up in my sleep, and you've heard me say it a million times. And this is the umpteenth one of these I've done on the channel. And I don't know where I got all this energy today, but I've got a lot of energy and I want to get this done fast because it's late morning. It's not early morning. I usually like to do this early morning, and it is absolutely perfect outside and I want to play golf. So I gotta get this done, play golf, and then the customer is coming to pick it up. So I showed Jason this bike and I said, this is the bike you want, but it's not ready. I gotta fix it up for you first. Would you be okay with being on the video? And he said, yeah, that sounds fun. So we're gonna get footage of him test riding and telling us why he no longer wants to buy it. So you kick back and relax and watch me struggle and not accomplish anything at all today. We're gonna replace the tires and the pedals. Per the usual, put it in little and little. Disconnect the brakes. Ooh, Avid single digit 3 brakes. See, you get what you pay for, people. They don't make them like they used to. Woody Charleston, everybody. Yeah, all right. So, first things first, let's pull the filthy old tires off this beast. All right, everything's pretty good here. There's a computer magnet here. Get that off quick. Oh, dropped a screw. Giant PX2 hybrid tires. A little bit of puncture resistance in them. Nice 700 by 35. Similar to the Continental touring tires. Tour ride. This one's worn out. The other one's actually in really good shape, but I like my tires to match. And this tube was holding air just fine, so we're gonna reuse it. I always like to fill them halfway and make sure that things are seated properly before going full bore. I only had to blow like 14 off the rim and give myself a heart attack 13 times to get to the point where I take it easy. But once you're pretty certain that you won't have catastrophic failure, you make it firm and go for a bike ride. I got my compressor set to 80 pounds, 85 pounds. Which is just about right for these. All right, more computer magnets. This bike has 4 computer magnets. So there's 2 more. And then in here, he's got a Wahoo speed sensor. I used to work with a guy named Wiener Stick, and he wrote a song called Aero Bars on a Hybrid. You know, we really do make fun of you at bike shops. So you see how that tire tread kind of has, you know, an indication of pointing forward. I always like that, to point forward on the wheel. So the gears are on the right side, bike's going that way. Line everything up. You watch enough of my videos, you'll see me put them on backwards. In fact, I think the last video I did, probably gonna have to edit it. I don't know, it might even come out after this one. I did that. All right, get this front wheel up here in the truthing stand. This is where I like to tell the truth, express my most unpopular opinions, and proclaim them as truth. Because in the post-truth world, that's how things work. We tend to draw our own conclusions, develop core beliefs. Maybe even not core beliefs, but superficial beliefs. Belief systems, we adopt belief systems and start making truth claims or fact claims based on those belief systems. And then, as if everything's a religion, we demand that that truth be respected as our own, and that any challenge to that truth is to be seen as an act of oppression and censorship and a violation of one's First Amendment rights. Even though you can just make up whatever you choose to believe and claim it as fact. Make false statements of fact, you know, in libel and defamation courts or suits. In the court of law, this comes into play, where a false statement of fact can actually be litigious. You know, if you make a false statement of fact about someone and it costs them $1 million, you can be found liable for that $1 million and you owe them. You know, you can't just lie about people, and then you can't just be like, but that's what I believe, and you must respect that. It's like, no, you know it's not true. You know, deep down, you all know that Jesus Christ didn't die and then magically crawl out of a cave 3 days later. But as part of your faith, you accept that story as truth, as the gospel, and attached to it is all this meaning of redemption and forgiveness and love and grace and all these wonderful concepts that make being human and living in a society much easier and probably better off. And some people just don't think that deeply about things, and so having a belief system or a faith to guide them through life was probably a better way to go, because a lot of us are just barely getting by. You know, we're struggling, so to have to like struggle with our own morality and so on and so forth just gets to be too much. So it's like, just go to church once a week and you're taken care of, right? It's like you show up at work, do your work and get your paycheck, then you've earned the right and you have the money to prove it, to have a roof over your head. You pay taxes and then you have the right to drive on the road, but you got to put the work in. You got to contribute to society first. Anyway, that's the kind of truth I'm talking about here. Oh, I dropped my spoke wrench. This is what I dropped. That's a spoke wrench. I don't just believe it. I know that. That is actually a piece of information that I retain as knowledge. There's a consensus, an agreed upon consensus that this is a spoke wrench. And we can accept that as truth. I guess we're all just kind of believing that it's true. But it actually is a spoke wrench that was designed to wrench spokes. So it is what it is, man. Now, freedom of religion isn't the same as like demanding that everybody respect your religion over their own. It just only means that you get to believe whatever you want to believe. But nobody has to respect it. Nobody has to believe it too. They can't use their religion against you in an oppressive way, especially the state. Also, a false statement of fact isn't the same as opinion. We can all have our own opinions. A fact is something that can be proven right or wrong. It's objective. Objective facts, subjective opinions. Opinions are, I feel this way about something, not I believe this to be true. That's not an opinion. Believing something to be true is not the same as having an opinion about something. So many people don't understand that. Everybody can have an opinion. I think it's a fact that climate change is caused by, it's like post-industrial revolution humanity, right? Or it's not caused by, it's amplified by, accelerated by, we're definitely contributing and speeding things up, right? But my opinion is we're all probably doomed, like humanity's probably doomed anyway, like we're all gonna get wiped out by a virus or something, and like human consciousness will cease to exist at some point, so who cares if we have a planet? But that's just like my opinion, man. We're gonna pull this derailleur inward. We're going to loosen up our cables. And we're gonna start laying off on the existential dread for today. Nothing but happy thoughts from here on out. There, all of the cables are all flippity-flappity, free as a majestic golden eagle. Okay, this can of Behold has very little left in it. Can you hear that? Okay, so now we'll go through and put all of our pieces of, oh, never mind, let's lube them first. I like Tri-Flow, superior lubricant, made with Teflon, which drives some of you absolutely crazy. And I just looked it up, and I don't know, what do you call them, PTFEs or, the forever chemicals, blah. Some of them are pretty dangerous. Teflon is not one of them. Now Teflon, the manufacturing of Teflon used to use one of the really dangerous PTFEs, but it no longer does. It's just not that big of a deal. The actual little bad dealy bobs in Teflon are too big to soak through your skin, I guess. It's just not a thing. It's a nothing burger. You're making a big deal out of nothing. It's really too bad that none of that had any meaningful video with it. It was a good little rant. I told you it was just gonna be happy from now on. What the hell? I was in such a good, positive mood there for a second. I'm back to my old self here. I'm just kind of in a hurry. Probably don't need to be in this much of a hurry, but time is money. It's just you don't get days this nice all the time. I want to get out there and take advantage. All right, get that in there, that in there. Where you at here? So I got myself a grandma. She loves prunes. And she eats a little bit too much, which causes her to spend a lot of time in the bathroom. When I was a kid, I remember we'd be hanging out at her house. And from down the hall in the bathroom there, we'd hear that cute little grandma voice singing. Wiping as we go, wiping as we go. When you eat like I do, you're wiping as we go. God bless her. Oh man, that was awesome. Oh God, what's happening? Oh. As promised. Jeez. Thanks for making that easy, SRAM. Here we go. Drop a little lube down there. You wiggle it just a little bit. Engelbert Humperdinck wrote that song, recorded it in 1947. I'm not sure why this chain is bothering me right now, but I'm gonna spray chain lube all over that rim. It's literally raining lube on that rim. You just rub it right in there. Rim brakes. Huh? That's all fun and games until someone sues me. I better squeegee that off with these brake pads. There we go. Take this dirty rag, it's got a lot of grease and everything on it, and rub that all over the rims too. Clean as a dang old whistle. You ever smell a whistle? I'm telling you, no amount of explaining will convince me that a whistle is clean. They stink. Those things smell like the inside of a dog's mouth, which I'm told, bacteriologically speaking, is a very clean place to be. Uh-oh, I'm under attack. Ah! Oh man, does she clean up goo? Found this old Silver Trek bottle cage in the bins, which is way more better hay than that faded old reddish pink thing. A lot of times I'll leave these off, and then when the customer decides to buy the bike, as we're checking out, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw in a water bottle cage. And they go, oh my God, you're throwing in a water bottle cage. And then I seem like a really good guy. And wouldn't you know it, that if you just seem like a really good guy at key moments in someone's life, you don't have to actually be a good person at all. A lot of times you can just like take advantage of them, sell them things they don't need, rip them off. You just gotta have a lot of confidence. Okay. awkward angle. Oh my God. God. There's a left and a right to the pedals, and the left side is reverse thread. So if you get each of them started, then you can kind of hold them and thread them in at the same time. Oh, didn't have it started. Oh my goodness. It can be tough to get that first bit threaded. Give it one of these numbers. I just didn't like the pedals that were on it. A, they had toe clips, which, I don't know. I think you kind of have to be insane to like toe clips. Insane or stupid or something. Wrong. But everybody's switching to these big platform pedals now. It just makes a ton of sense. Did you know this is a record, a vinyl record? And then this was a balloon. A happy face, smiley face balloon that I glued onto a record. Pretty crafty. Just saying. You thought all you could do is fix bikes, make videos. Now I can make stuff like that too. I didn't have much of a breakfast today. I just did like, I had to go to physical therapy, and I hadn't eaten breakfast yet, so I did one of those like vegetable multivitamin powder things and just slugged it down. And then after my appointment, I was like, man, am I hungry? And I was like, what's that smell? It smells really good. And then I saw there was a cafe there at the hospital clinic thing. And then up on the board, they were like breakfast burritos. I was like, ooh, okay. And then one of them was a sweet potato breakfast burrito. I'm like, okay, I'm here to get healthy. You know, it's a clinic, healthcare facility, and you are what you eat. And from what I understand, sweet potatoes are pretty good for you. And so I had a sweet potato breakfast burrito, and I swear to God, it was the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. And my wife has been eating these, I don't know, sweet potato, ground turkey, vegetable bowl things, that concoction that she's made that are actually really good too. So she's always got like sweet potatoes ready to roll, and you just put them in the air fryer. I'm like, I think I'm gonna start eating a lot of sweet potatoes. There are few things in this world that I hate more than these stupid bar end mirrors. They stick out so far, they get hung up on everything. They break, and nobody's happy. All right, so this is basically friction shifting in the front, non-indexing front derailleur, which is nice. It's easier to tune. The rear shifting really good too. I didn't suspect that we'd have any problems with the shifting on this bike. Just wiping off the extra filth from that chain. You know, we sprayed it a long time ago, and we've kind of been working it. That one step is a cleaner and a lubricant. So it's kind of in there, working its magic on the grit and the grime, and then it works itself out of those bushings and out onto the surface. But if you take an old rag, no, not the one you divorced 14 years ago, but the one that's laying on your workbench, and just kind of wipe it one way and then the other. Make your grandma proud. If you wipe both ways, you really get it super clean. That's another thing she taught me. There you have it, kids. This bike is ready for a test ride. I'm like very confident that Jason is gonna love this bike, and we're just gonna set it aside and let it think about what it's done to deserve such treatment. and it has just been a really nice bike its whole life and deserves this attention. And it's going to find a new home and a rider that uses it appropriately for riding around town, out on the bike trail, upright riding position, some suspension just to float and feel the wind on their cheeks and enjoy the wonders of nature. So, just right around the corner here, Jason has agreed to be on this video, and we're gonna get his thoughts on the matter. And fingers crossed I make a sale. Well, here it is.
All right, all cleaned up, new tires, nice.
Yeah, new tires, new pedals.
Okay, yep.
And then it's all cleaned up. I lubed everything and adjusted everything. So it should feel better than brand new.
Nice.
As I like to say.
Probably take this seat up just a little bit, right?
Yeah, you could. Yep, that looks about right. And then you know how the grip shift works?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got it set in the middle here, so 2 on this side and 5-ish.
Okay, yeah.
And then the lower the number, the easier it is to pedal. And you have to be pedaling for it to shift.
Yeah.
You can ride it around the parking lot if you want.
All right. Feels about perfect for what I'm looking for. Just cruising around. Yep, definitely like it.
Awesome.
Get a water bottle for it, got a kickstand already. Yeah, definitely perfect for what I'm looking for.
Sweet. So you're a runner, huh?
Yeah.
And then this you're just gonna ride out on
this is just for days, just for cruising around, switch up to something different here and there, putzing around town. I'm only 1.5 miles to where I work from the apartment I'm staying in, so maybe even just taking it to and from work here and there.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a do everything bike. Sounds good. Let's go ride it up.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
All right, receipt is in your inbox.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And thanks for being part of the video.
And oh yeah, no problem. And if I have any troubles with it or need any tune-ups, tweaks or something, I could just bring it back to you.
Yeah.
I'm not asking like warranty-wise, but like if I'm coming across something, hey, could you make some adjustments?
Absolutely, 100%. And my number's always on the door, so just text me, and we'll work out a time. You come in, and 9 out of 10 times. 99 out of 10 times. I can fix it right on the spot.
Well, hopefully it doesn't need much, but I know I'm going to be in the area for at least 6 to 8 months, maybe longer. So
cool. Well, welcome to town, and you got a good bike to ride. Well,
I picked up the trail pass earlier today, so I'm going to head right over here to the old train station and put some miles on it and test it out.
Sweet.
So much appreciated. Thank you.
I mean, see what I mean, bike farmers? It's that easy. Happy customer. I got rid of a bike. I knew it. As soon as he said he wanted a bike, I was like, the 7300 that's like hardly ridden and will be better than brand new. It was a pretty easy tune-up, was it not? Well, thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, that's like the #1 thing I can get out of you. Like this I assume if you made it this far, you like it. So just like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to give a little bit more, there are super thanks, and that's just like tipping wait staff or something like that. Send me 10, 20 bucks. That's taco money, and I run right across the street. I get tacos from El Mariachi's. Now the tacos campechanos are really something else, and that's the sustenance that feeds my mind, body, and soul that allows me to create more content just like this. If you're not into taco money, you can join the channel and become a monthly sustaining member. That gets you a star by your name. I'll get to know you in the comments a little bit more. I pay attention. You can ask me some questions and I'll answer them. It kind of bumps up your level of interest in my world, you know. You can pay me to be your friend. How about that? But, aside from making great videos, there's not much I can do for you. But what you can do for yourself is click that notification bell so you and your bikes can stay tuned. Whew, glad that's over.